To start this project, I took my small crate box that I bought from Dollar Tree along with my antique wax from CraftSmart that I purchased at Michael's. I used one of my favorite Dollar Tree brushes and I began putting the antique wax all over the box. I started painting it out and then I thought, well, maybe as I go along, I'll just go ahead and use a paper towel. You'll see that come in just a minute. I definitely recommend using gloves whenever you're using this, any sort of the antique wax when you're trying to paint wood or stain wood, because it is very messy and you do get it on your hands and it doesn't come off very easily. I don't think I should have to share how I know that from experience. Here you see me come in with my paper towel for the first time, getting off some of the extra wax and then coming back in with my paintbrush and continuing to put on more wax. My paper towel again, you just want to brush it on and then lightly start to brush it off. You can add a little bit of the extra that gets onto the paper towel. You can wipe it on some of the other areas of the box if you feel like it, or you can just use your paintbrush. So here I am back on the other side going over it and trying to get the stuff on the top, making sure once again that the box is completely covered in my antique wax, and then of course getting off the excess with my paper towel. Like I said, it is a very messy job when you're using a stain. And I just have paper towels down on top of my healing mat, but I have seen other crafters use some of the potty training mats for puppies that you can purchase. They come in a bag, 3 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And I think eventually I did put one of those down to test it out to see how it worked, and I think I really liked doing that better. So eventually you will see me put down a potty training mat, and I definitely recommend those as well. This is actually my first time doing a crafting video. I really wasn't sure what to expect, so I apologize for some of my shots being out of camera. I'm sure eventually I will get the hang of it. Here I'm going ahead and staining the bottom of the crate as well, just so that it's all cohesive and all one color, all one stain. Then I went ahead and grabbed my dowels and I stained those as well. And I went ahead and I set that aside so it could dry a little bit. Then I used 2 popsicle sticks, 2 of the large ones that you can purchase from Walmart in a package. And I just cut them down to whatever size, it's personal preference, however long or short that you want them. I cut them down to the size of the crate box, and then I used some CraftSmart paint that I purchased at Michael's. It's a chalk paint, and this is the color Scarlet. I wanted that bright, vibrant red that you see a lot during Valentine's Day. I really wanted it to be a pretty red, not necessarily a brick red or anything like that, but really just that cute heart red that just tells you that somebody loves you. And I went ahead and I painted both sides of my popsicle sticks, and then I used my heat gun because I'm impatient and I don't like to wait for anything to dry. Then I came back in again with one of my favorite Dollar Tree brushes and gave it a second coat. Made sure that I got all of the sides. This was also pretty messy just because there's really no, when you're painting like this, there's really no place to hang on to the popsicle stick. So inevitably you're going to get paint on your hands. And see, I'm using my heat gun again to dry it before I set it down. Fortunately, the chalk paint, I think one of the things that I like about the chalk paint is it does dry really quickly. So that is really nice. As soon as you put almost as soon as you put a heat gun on it, sometimes even before the heat gun is on it, it is already partially dried. So this is just painting the second paint stick. A nice vibrant red so that you can't see through it and can't see any of the wood underneath it. I wanted the word kisses to really show. I wanted it to be very bold. So, and I knew I was going to be making that out of white vinyl. Then I went ahead and took my gloves off, put my paint away. Here I am using the puppy pad that I told you about, the potty training pad. I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half now so that I have a clean workspace to work on again. I pull out one of my standard grip Cricut mat and some white vinyl, some premium vinyl that I had left over. They're just scraps. I went ahead and cut it down to size because I knew I wasn't going to need the entire sheet. And I like to save as much vinyl as possible. Then I set that down. Again, I'm sorry that this is out of the camera shot. Set that down on my mat. I put my mat in my Cricut Maker, opened up my laptop to design space, typed in the word kisses, and before, what you didn't see is me measuring to see how much length I had on my popsicle sticks to see how long I could make my word and how wide I could make it. And then I pulled it out here on my design space, and the font I used is DJ Flirt because it had a little white heart in it. And I was also looking for a way to put the numbers 25 with the word or with the cent symbol in there, and I couldn't really find a cent symbol, so I ended up actually looking for a image that may have had it in it, and that is eventually what I ended up using for the 25 cents on the finished product. And I did also go ahead and print out just a bunch of hearts that I could use to decorate the stained crate. Now here you see me, I like to pull my vinyl off of my standard mat before I weed it, and then I just lay it down, and this is me weeding it. And I cut it down so that I can see where I need to weed it. It's pulling off the excess vinyl. And then I trim it down even more to get the backing off a little bit more. And then you'll see what, instead of using your traditional transfer tape or the contact paper or anything else like that, when I have small words like this that I want to be able to see exactly where I'm going to place them, what works best for me is to use masking tape. I love using masking tape. I put it right down on the word. I use my little spatula or my little spatula from Cricut and make sure that the masking tape picks it up, and then I'm able to put it right down and I can see through the masking tape, and it transfers it so nicely for me. It comes off. There's none of the sticky residue that you sometimes get from the contact paper. So you can see me doing it on the second sign as well. Then I bring my little crate out again, and now what I'm doing is measuring how tall I want the dowels. So I didn't want you to be able to see the dowel through the open handle on the side of the crate. So I'm measuring for that, but I also didn't want the sign like really super high. So again, it's just the height of the sign is just personal preference. You can see I go back in and still think that it's a little bit high because I don't want the dowels all the way down to the bottom of the crate, of the inside of the crate. So I'm measuring it again just above where the handle starts on the side. And you'll see me use my miter shears and come back in and cut those down again. Those miter shears are awesome. They cut through these wooden dowels like butter. I'm so glad I got that idea from another crafter. I don't remember who it was, but whoever it is that said that they were awesome were completely right. I love them and use them all the time. Now I'm just making sure that I have a good strong hold, making sure it doesn't come past the handle there on the side, holding it down for a little bit more of a secure grip. After I used my favorite glue gun by Surebonder, which is the wireless glue gun at a high temp, to glue these down and secure them. And I'm just getting off the extra glue so there are no strings. Making sure that everything is in place. And now I'm going to go ahead and put on my Kisses sign. Again, wherever you put it on those dowels is personal preference. However high or low you wanted it is totally up to you. And then I'm just taking off the excess glue. Then I put the other one on the other side. And what you don't see again is you don't see me put on the 25-cent, the little 25-cent price sign, and you don't see me put on the extra heart, the extra white hearts to decorate the stained crate. But I do go back in and use some Mod Podge to go over those to make sure that they're there forever. Then I just went ahead and Mod Podged the entire crate and the red sign that has the hearts and the word Kisses on it. I didn't want anything to come off. I did not put Mod Podge on the inside of the crate. I didn't think it needed since it was going to have candy in there that is wrapped from the factory. So this is close to the end of my project. I absolutely love how it turned out. I think that it is super cute. It was inspired by a picture that I just happened to see on Pinterest. And I thought I could make that, like we all say. I can make that. And just a little bit while later, I did. I hope you have enjoyed watching me make this as much as I enjoyed making it. I can't wait to see what it looks like in my house during this year's Valentine's Day celebrations. There it is, all finished. Once again, thank you for watching my first video. Ta-ta for now.